Till that Magnus Carlsen intentionally plays non-book inaccuracies during opening moves he knows aren't the best, in order to force the game into a non-book position, so his opponents will have to think for themselves instead of going by memorized opening theory. Till highway hypnosis, also known as white line fever, is an altered mental state in which a person can drive a car, truck, or other automobile great distances, responding to external events in the expected, safe, and correct manner with no recollection of having consciously done so. Till Sublime's debut album, 40 Ounces to Freedom, was recorded in secrecy at the studios in California State University. The lead singer, Bradley Nowell, recalled how they would sneak in after closing time, stay there till 5 a.m., hide from security, and manage to get $30 of studio time for free. Till that when Zlatan Ibrahimovic signed for MLS club LA Galaxy, LeBron James sent him one of his Lakers jerseys as a "Welcome to LA" gift. Zlatan's response was to sign it and send it back. Till when Captain Francesco Schettino was asked why he abandoned the sinking Costa Concordia cruise ship in 2012 while the ship's passengers were either dying or trying to escape, his excuse was that he accidentally fell into a lifeboat. He received 16 years in prison for his role in the incident. Till one bad apple in a bunch will release ethylene, ruining all the other apples. Till a depressed patient attempted suicide by gunshot to the head, destroying the part of the brain that may cause depression. Most of her depressive symptoms went away. Till of a courtier, Geoffrey Hudson, in the court of King Charles I of England, who was only 18 inches tall. He challenged a normal height man to a duel with pistols over an insult. His opponent came to the duel armed with a water squirt gun. Hudson shot him in the head with a real gun, killing him. Till about one-night cough syrup was sold in the late 1800s, and it contained alcohol, cannabis, chloroform, and morphine. This mixture was available over the counter and promised to eliminate your cough in one night so you could sleep. Till that many animals spend much of their time doing nothing, even those we think of as particularly busy. If you look at a colony of ants, or bees, or any social insect really, maybe a little bit less than half of them are just standing around doing what looks like nothing. Till that 3 years after winning gold at the 2004 Olympics, wrestler Rulon Gardner and two friends' plane crashed into Lake Powell, Utah. The three men swam an hour to the shore through 44 F-7C degree water to the shore and waited all night without shelter for rescue. All three men survived. Till in 1962 an Englishman named Brendan Grimshaw bought a lone island in the Seychelles and settled there for the rest of his life. He planted over 16,000 trees attracting countless species and made it a national park. Till that there were 26 children and 36 spouses of Spanish-American war veterans still receiving VA benefits or pensions as of 2021. The war happened nearly 125 years ago. Till the Brussels sprouts have been systematically bred to be less bitter and taste better since the 90s. Till that in 2002 members of a simulated Mars mission in Utah uncovered an actual dinosaur fossil when on a mock spacewalk. Till James Earl Jones and Carrie Fisher never met until they made cameo appearances in an episode of The Big Bang Theory. Till that the Woolworth Company, aka Woolworths, did not go out of business but rather just changed their name to that of their most profitable division, Foot Locker. Till that Hot Cheetos and Takis burned up the snack world in 2012, with schools in several states banning the foods as unhealthy and disruptive while confiscating them on site. That sparked a black market at some schools, with Takis becoming an underground currency. Till of the little-known legend of Jesus in Japan, where he settled down in Japan to grow garlic, married a farmer's daughter, fathered 3 kids and died at 106. Till John Stith Pemberton was a Confederate officer who became addicted to morphine after receiving a saber wound. Pemberton made a series of concoctions attempting to cure his addiction. Pemberton's experiments with coca and cola resulted in Pemberton's French wine Coca and later Coca-Cola. Till modern fruit is becoming too sweet for zoo animals after years of genetic modification. Till about 70% of the material for the original Human Genome Project came from some dude in Buffalo, New York. Till an 1861 Japanese book about the history of the United States included such colorful scenes as George Washington punching a tiger and John Adams killing a giant snake. Till a pop-up restaurant in Japan hired only elderly people with dementia to reduce the stigma attached to it. The customers still ate the food they were served even if the waiters got it wrong. Till that killer whales can imitate human speech. They are able to copy words such as hello and bye-bye, as well as sounds from other orcas. Till if a member of the French Foreign Legion is wounded in battle, they can immediately apply for French citizenship under a provision known as Français par le sang versé, French by spilled blood. Till that in 1982 Delta Airlines employees raised $30 million in order to buy a new Boeing 767 as a sign of gratitude and appreciation to the company during economic hardship in the airline industry. Till that Japan's Toby Zoo conducts lion escape drills using a human in a lion costume. Due to Japan's earthquake-prone location, these elaborate drills are crucial to prepare for emergencies. Till the baby Sacagawea carried for 2,000 miles was Jean-Baptiste Charbonneau. He was delivered by Meriwether Lewis, raised by William Clark, lived in a German castle for 6 years, spoke 4 languages, was a military scout, fur tapper and gold miner. He's buried in an Oregon ghost town. Till Brontosaurus is a valid dinosaur again. As of 2015, it is no longer considered to be the same species as Apatosaurus. Till during the first days of a baby deer, fawn's life, they lie still and are mostly alone apart from brief visits by their mother. Yet this early time in a deer's life is when they are the safest from predators. Till there is a cliff on Miranda, moon of Uranus, named Verona Rupes that is estimated to be 20 kilometers high. It is the tallest known cliff in the solar system, and if you jumped off of it you would fall for about 12 minutes before hitting the ground due to the lower gravity. Till about a cat named Room 8 that lived in a public school for 16 years. During his time there he would disappear during the summer and return, like clockwork on the first day of school. He became so well known that poems and songs were sung about him. Till of androgen insensitivity syndrome, where the body doesn't respond to testosterone so they have the genetic makeup of a man while showing the physical traits of a woman. Till after Columbus landed in the Americas in 1492, they discovered Taino people roasting meat over a grill, allowing the flames and smoke to envelop the meat for a certain flavor. Called barbecue by the Taino, the technique spread to Europe and the colonies, and is now known as barbecue. Till the Magna Carta was annulled by Pope Innocent III and reinstated multiple times by different English kings. While perceived as a constitution, the Magna Carta was limited to 25 barons and the king, and the document has been almost entirely repealed or replaced with new laws over the centuries. Till bodies of victims from Pompeii's Vesuvius eruption didn't turn to stone. Rather, their bodies were enveloped in debris which hardened. The bodies decayed, leaving hollow cavities. During the first excavations, these cavities were filled with a plaster-like material, creating detailed replicas. Till of Piso Firme, a project which replaced dirt floors with concrete floors in Mexican slums. Changing the flooring improved the residents' health and happiness, but also their children's communication and vocabularies. Till that Trent Reznor was the final resident of 10050 Cielo Drive, Los Angeles, site of the Manson family murders, but moved out after a random encounter with Sharon Tate's sister, who asked him, "Are you exploiting my sister's death by living in her house?" Till Australia is moving north at a rate of 2.7 inches per year. Since 1994 it has moved over 5 feet. Till after the outlaw George Parrott was executed in 1881, his skull was used as an ashtray, and his skin was made into a pair of shoes and a medicine bag. The doctor who performed the autopsy later became governor of Wyoming and wore the shoes to his inaugural ball. Till in 1969 Colorado tried fracking with a nuclear bomb. It worked, but the oil and gas are too irradiated to be used even today. Till about the loneliest tree on Earth, a Sitka spruce on Campbell Island, over 170 miles from the nearest tree. It was planted by a lonely meteorologist in 1907. Till boogers contain salivary mucins, which forms a barrier on your teeth from bacteria that can cause cavities. Till an Icelandic man named Felix Gretterson lost both his arms in a work accident. He received a double arms and shoulders transplant, which was the first of its kind in the world. Till male cigarette smokers have significantly higher levels of total and free testosterone compared with men who never smoked. Till tater tots were invented by Nefi Grigg, co-founder of Ore-Ida in 1953, using excess potato shavings from making frozen French fries. Originally, these shavings were sold as livestock feed. Till that if Disney execs had their way, Dead Poets Society would be called Sultans of Swing, and instead of learning about poetry, the boys would be passionate about dance, with that plotline mostly focusing on Mr. Keating's character. Till of Lafayette, the hero of two worlds. At 18 as a French marquis he defied the king and sailed to America to fight in the Revolutionary War. He then left and served in the French Revolution. Once, when captured, Napoleon himself secured his release. He is buried under soil from Bunker Hill. Till that in over 50 years, In and Out has kept their menu essentially the same, with the exception of the secret menu hack of Animal Styles fries or burgers that started in the 60s. Till that an expert parachutist fell to his death when he jumped from a plane, without realizing that he wasn't wearing a parachute. Till about Jack Parsons, rocket scientist and occultist, friend of Aleister Crowley and L. Ron Hubbard, who founded the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and died in an explosion. Till about the Barnes opening, considered one of the worst chess openings and deemed as having almost no strategic advantages and a lot of drawbacks. Till that the feeling of being awake when you're actually sleeping is a disorder called paradoxical insomnia and the reason for it is unclear. Till that the 1994 film, The Mask, was based on a much more violent comic book. The protagonist, Stanley Ipkiss, goes on a revenge spree, murders a number of cops, and is eventually shot in the back and killed by his girlfriend, Kathy, who sees the mask for what it is, and plans to destroy it. Till about Tangier Island, a community of tilde 500 off the coast of Virginia that live on a sinking island and speak a unique form of Old English.